It's time to go back to the America that our founding fathers would actually recognize. Remember, there is no place like America and no place to go if we lose our freedom here. But it's up to you. Make no mistake, it will be a battle not just between capitalism and socialism, and not just between the right and the left, but a battle between lawlessness and law and order, between anarchy and respect for society's rules and regulations. This requires that you be unafraid. This week, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been running around the country delivering commencement speeches. Tonight, I'd like to deliver one of my own. Mine, a far cry from what you have heard from our liberal leaders. And so, to the class of 2021, I say, congratulations. You had 4 wonderful years in college. You now enter real life. Real life is hard. Real challenges, real difficulties. Now, during most of your time in college, Donald Trump was the president. The economy was great. We had the lowest unemployment for African Americans and minorities. Deregulation allowed businesses to prosper. The opening of the Keystone Pipeline helped us to be energy independent. And for the first time, a net exporter of gas, no longer dependent on the OPEC nations. Tax cuts allowed Americans to take more money home. You had a lot to look forward to under Donald Trump. But now, as you enter the real world, America is a different place. Under Joe Biden, you better watch what you say or do, because now you can be canceled. Not by a court or a regulatory agency, but by those who think they are better than you and have the power to block points of view they disagree with. Original thought is not valued the way it once was. I know you've studied the First Amendment. Freedom of speech means you can say what you please. The Supreme Court has even protected hate speech because the Constitution doesn't take sides in a speech debate. It just provides you the freedom to speak your mind. But big tech has emerged in the last 6 months as the self-anointed arbiter of truth, deciding what you can say on Facebook or Twitter. And by the way, truth these days is a very subjective thing. So now it's on you to decide, how free do you want to be? If you want the freedom the founding fathers created, it's now on you to regulate big tech, aka Big Brother, promoting one ideology and groupthink only. This is more than political correctness. You are entering a cancel culture where even your circumstance alone can get you fired, having nothing to do with your job or your ability. Like a woman whose only crime was that her son-in-law was on a police force, so she was fired. Where a scarlet letter can be placed on you so that you may never find work. It's on you now. You want to get married and have a family? A no-brainer, right? Except today, powerful organizations like Black Lives Matter reject the nuclear family. The organization is a firm believer of Marxism, which demands the abolition of the family. Funny, our government seems not far behind. You see, government is promising to care for you from cradle to grave. Some members of BLM seem to believe they can burn down businesses and loot stores because of a perceived injustice. They did it all last summer, and they did it with impunity. You see, the America you are entering has not only demoralized police, they've been defunded, told to stand down, lost their immunity, so they virtually cannot perform their job. They are spit on, assaulted, and outright shot because they wear the badge. So if you get in trouble, a break-in at your home, you may be your own 911. This has to be your first order of business, because a nation without law and order is destined for anarchy. A nation without rules, where mobs and gangs are allowed to roam and damage the streets, is not only not good for your business, but your house value will go down because it's not safe for families either. And if the job you seek involves world travel and a global business, Not so fast. The United States today is showing the weakness on the international stage, and you may not have a strong country willing to back you up. China insults our Secretary of State in our own country, while the Secretary of State and his team sit there and take it. Hamas, a terrorist organization, sends torrents of missiles into Israel, our staunchest ally and the only democracy in the Middle East. And President Biden, instead of standing strong with Israel, buckles to the left and with pathetic ambivalence says, well, Israel has a right to defend herself, then changes and says, there should be a ceasefire, and then demands that Netanyahu sign a significant de-escalation. This, as Palestinian sympathizers in Congress offer a resolution to stop the promised military resupply to Israel as Israel is being attacked by Hamas. Elected officials no longer seem accountable to their constituency. They instead have instituted a wave of totalitarianism, using a pandemic as an excuse to control us. Your job, if you want to succeed, will be to stop these small-minded dictators. They bullied us, claiming they relied on the science, and they forced us to shut down, shut in, and shut up. We even face totalitarianism in Congress, where congresswomen spew hatred toward a duly elected president and his cabinet members, suggesting people get in their faces so they know they are not welcome. That same totalitarianism continues as the Speaker of the House, who doesn't wear a mask in a hair salon, insists that all members of Congress wear masks, even though they've all been vaccinated. The instinct to control is so strong that she's instituted fines of up to $2,500 a day that is automatically deducted from the salaries as punishment. In socialist countries, there's no reward for success. Americans for the past year, in fact, have been offered more money to stay home and not work. The pandemic used to promote a socialist way of life. So all that hard work in college to get your degree and succeed is minimized as laziness and reliance on government is normalized. It seems that meritocracy will take a back seat to reliance on government. So if you're a type A, you might not do as well as you'd like here. Remember, there is no place like America and no place to go if we lose our freedom here. But it's up to you. Make no mistake, it will be a battle not just between capitalism and socialism, and not just between the right and the left, but a battle between lawlessness and law and order, between anarchy and respect for society's rules and regulations. This requires that you be unafraid. It's time to go back to the America that our founding fathers would actually recognize. Remember one thing, Ronald Reagan was right. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You are on the precipice, and you must fight for and protect that freedom.